Hello, wrestling fans. My name is Big Boy Snatch on TV, aka What Kind of Snatch You Want, because I got plenty going around. This is my AEW Dynamite review on high. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content that I do on the channel because I'm on the road to 10K and become a YouTube partner. Follow my social media down below in the description and go check out my WWE NXT review on how to start posting on the channel yesterday. Without further ado, let's get started. Now, AEW Dynamite was a decent show before a go home show before AEW Double or Nothing. It was just AEW Dynamite was just a decent show for what it was. AEW was live from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. It says, crossing my fingers that Dynamite doesn't get cut off 15 minutes early for young Sheldon or something. It's Wednesday, my dudes. You know what that means. The intro video featuring Psalm 41 brings us to ringside as Tony Schiavone welcomes the finalists in the Men's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Hangman, Adam Page, and Will Ospreay. Crowd pops for the arrival of both men as we get a look back at their confrontation after teaming together last week. Tony Schiavone says both know what I'm sorry, Tony says both know what is at stake this Sunday. Not only the On Hard Cup, but a shot at the AEW World Championship at all in Texas. He gives the floor to Will Ospreay first, who thanks the security for being here, but there are not needed. Will Ospreay has a question for Hangman Adam Page. Do you still drink? Hangman seems upset at this, but Will Ospreay insists he's just asking to offer a couple beers for the Hangman. You can faintly hear a fan yelling about TV time being wasted, to which Will Ospreay responds, "Beer is on the line," before handling handling a bottle to Page, but the Hangman is not interested in a drink at this moment. Will Ospreay understands setting the beer down before telling Adam that he has plenty to. Tony Khan for their match on Sunday to be main event. There are de- 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 detractors to this, but Will Ospreay says that those people do not understand what at stake. Not only is the On Hard Cup on the line, uh, not only does the winner goes to All in Texas for his title shot, but that person carries the representative responsibilities to bring back the pretty gold belt. Will Ospreay goes on to talk about the work he put in and how much he wants to go into Forbidden Door in London with the title around his waist to thank the fans there for their support. But the most important thing to him is to have his little son look at him that day as the world champion. He understands how much Page wants this, but Will Ospreay wants it just that little bit more. Page, Page Hangman Page acknowledges there is a difference between them. Will Ospreay wants it. He understands the feeling and he understands the feeling as he been there before. He also knows Ospreay knows just how important the AEW World Championship is to this business. To Ospreay, this could be a professional accomplishment, but Hangman Page is personal. Is personal. Hangman doesn't want this opportunity. He needs it. This gets another chance for him for the crowd as he talks about wasting 2 years of life and feeling nothing but hate and rich and resentment. And the one thing he did when brought him nothing but the same. The the worst of it the worst of it come around Christmas time when he looked at his son who stared back at his father looking out the window, looking for something that will never come back. Hangman Page needs this as he needs his wife to look him in his eye and sees the man she fell in love with. He needs it for his family. He needs it for the fans that have supported him through everything. He also needs it for himself to know that there is a light at the end of these 2 years tunnel through hell, and he needs to know that Will Ospreay was wrong about it being too late for the Hangman. Will Ospreay asks him what he's planning to do about it. It is he going to wrap a chair around his head or try to retire him like he did Christopher Daniels? Will Ospreay isn't going that route again. At last, at last time, it took a long time to get back. He has been adamant about owing up to every loss. He had leaving it all in the ring and gaining the respect and trust of the fans. Hangman Page asks him if he thinks think that's enough when going up against John Moxley, and Will Ospreay admits he doesn't know. He faced John Moxley twice and couldn't beat him, but Page knows how to beat him. So he needs Adam to bring that man to Double or Nothing because if Will Ospreay can beat him, he knows he can beat John Moxley at All in Texas. He addresses the way the past 2 years have changed the Hangman losing the trust and respect of fans and the guys in the back. He needs Page to know that he's bringing his best this Sunday, and he before he writes Wellsbury off, he needs to remember he's beating some of the best in this business, including MJF and Brian Danielson, among others. Anything can happen, and if Page who wins, he can accept that. If the Hangman needs a friend, he can watch his back, and he hopes that if Ospreay wins, that he knows Page will have his back. Um, what he's saying, Cowboy, is to meet him to the desert this Sunday because he's calling him out for a shot for a shot for a shout out. He offers the beer back to Page, who accepts this time with a swig before staring Will Ospreay down. Commentary confirms that this match is officially the main event of Double or Nothing as Will Ospreay and Page leave the ring. Their gaze not breaking as they walk up the ramp towards the One Heart Cup. This was a good segment, man. I ain't gonna lie. It was a lot of yapping to kick the show off tonight. Yes, but it was yapping that helped really drive home how important the on hard tournament and earning that world title shot is for both men. Strong words from Page and Will Ospreay. Excited to see that match main evented at Double or Nothing. This was a good segment to kick off the show. All right, we cut we cut away to outside the arena where John Moxley and Maurice Shafir enter the building before John Moxley says the spoil will go to those who embrace the archery, all doing the arch the archery in the arena as he walks up the staircase and as his music hits. All right, we head to ringside as John Moxley makes his way through the crowd for our opening match, making their entrance next to the Young Bucks, followed by Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs, rounding out the entrance as we're Strickland, the trio standing on the ramp before heading to the ring to get this match on the way. All right, so we get the first match, All Star Trios match, John Moxley and the Young Bucks versus Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Swerve Strickland. And this trios match right here, I ain't even gonna lie, man. This was a fun match right here, fun tag team match. We start off with Samoa Joe and John Moxley trading strikes before they send each other railing towards their respective corners. Hobbs and Matthews tag in, trading offense until Nicholas tags in for a double team. Um, but Hobbs fights back for a tag to Swerve, who sends Nicholas to the ropes. Swerve Strickland is with a backbreaker before things completely break down with all six men coming into the ring. Things finally calm down just as John Moxley sends Powerhouse House to the outside for a dive through the ropes, and Samoa Joe gets back in the ring for a dive of his own, only to be intercepted with a double super kick by the Young Bucks. Nicholas gets caught Nicholas gets caught with a flatliner by Swerve Strickland, who sends him out of the ring for a dive. Samoa Joe comes back into comes back to land a rope onto the Young Bucks before we go at it. Go we go at it with a commercial break. Before we go to a commercial break, I'm sorry. So we go to commercial break. So we're back from commercial break. John Moxley is in control as he punches away at Hobbs before bringing him into the center of the ring for some stumps. While the powerhouse is down, Nicholas tags in, but is soon overpowered by Hobbs. Before Strickland tags in for a double team, Swerve blocks a Hurricanrana attempt to send Nicholas down hard with a powerbomb. Nicholas gets back to his feet, um, um, luring Strickland in for a sneak attack from John Moxley and Matthews on the outside. Nicholas continues the attack until Swerve Strickland gets his knees up to drive into a falling Nicholas. But Swerve partners have been knocked off the apron, cutting off a potential tag. That this gives the Young Bucks and John Moxley an opening to continue the beatdown, leading to a risky business that gives Nicholas a 2 count. All right, Matthews tag in to lay in more punishment with an assistant from Nicholas, leading to another near fall over a short stricken as we go to another commercial break. So we go to commercial break. We're back from commercial break. John Moxley is tagging and catches Swerve Strickland for a 2 count before Samoa Joe breaks up the pin. Samoa Joe gets clear from the ring as John Moxley set up a brutalizer on Swerve Strickland. Shades her Pac as Swerve Strickland tries to break free. John Moxley lets go. John Moxley let go, only to set up for a full Nelson before Swerve Strickland breaks free, lobbing John Moxley away as he reaches for a tag before landing a headbutt that takes him and John Moxley down hard. Alright. Matthews tag in as chaos ensures until Powerhouse House takes Matthews down, allowing Swerve Strickland to get a near fall. The action spell outside as John Moxley tries to get the upper hand, but Swerve Strickland managed to fight him back before Swerve Strickland getting back in the ring. John Moxley looks to attack House in the ring with a pendulum shift, but is dropped with a spine buster before Matthews takes the same. Swerve is still up on the turnbuckle as things break down in the ring once more, leading to the Young Bucks hitting a double super kick on Samoa Joe. They go for an EVP trigger on Swerve Strickland, but Samoa Joe gets Nicholas in the coquina clutch while Swerve Strickland rolls up Matthews for the win. The winner by pinfall, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Swerve Strickland. This was a fun tag team match. Yeah, this was a fun tag team match. Alright. The rest of the Death Riders rush to the ring for a beatdown before Shibata arrives to even the numbers. Shafir is fended off by Willow Nightingale as Kenny Omega rushed to the ring to go after Yuta. He then hits a a running V trigger on matches against the ropes as Swerve brings out a table. Claudio helps bring the bring the Young Bucks and the Riders out of the ring, and they escape to the crowd as Mojo calls them out ahead of Double or Nothing. All right, chaotic but fun opening match, really setting the tone while entering in the arena at Double or Nothing. The bill is this year's match has been curious to say the least, especially the elite trying to carry favor for the Death Riders. Alright, let's move on. Backstage the Hurt Syndicate, backstage the Hurt Syndicate and their legal counsel are greeted by MJF in a fancy gold and black suit along with his legal counsel. MVP says they will see him in the ring later, leaving as MJF as Mark Sterling shakes hands with the Hurt Syndicate counsel before we go to commercial break. Alright, so we go to commercial break. Alright. We return to ringside as the Hurt Syndicate makes their way out to a big reaction from the crowd. Oh, who chant "We Heard People" as we get a look back at Bobby Lashley giving his thumbs up of approval for MJF to join the group. MVP says he has an official announcement regarding this, addressing some boos by saying they're booing because MJF is better than them, and they know it. And they know it. He welcomes the newest member of the Hurt Syndicate as MJF music hits, bringing the former world champion out with a microphone in hand. All right, he enters the ring. He enters the ring, mocking the crowd before addressing the Hurt Syndicate. He had he when he was a young lady, his mom sat him down and said the most important day of his life. His life. What was it? Was his life when he names the love of his life, but she never joined her syndicate. The crowd, boos him, to which he addresses to MVP. MJF waits to continue after MJF finishes. Sterling addresses that this was done. This was done. What was it? It says this was done to what's that word? I'm sorry. Satisfy both parties with that MJF signs the contract to join the Hurt Syndicate before Mark Sterling hands the contract to the Hurt Syndicate. They talk with that legal counsel before Sean Benjamin signs with the MVP, continue to run down the crowd. Okay, all right. With that, with that, we await the signature from Bobby Lashley, who looks it over before covering. I'm sorry, covering with Sarah Benjamin and the council. MVP joins in after trying to shut the crowd down some more. And Bobby Lashley finally signed the contract. MVP joins on that to celebrate before he is cut off by the Sons of Texas making their way out. It says MGF. It says MGF stars to R them down, but this cut off by Dustin Rhodes, who says all MGF sees is talk. All right. Dustin Rhodes lets him know he's that he hates MJF's guts. He respects MVP as they go a long way, but he struggles MVP be be grateful of the what's that word? I'm sorry. Of the way. I'm sorry. Dustin Rhodes lets him know he hates MJF guts. He respects MVP as they go. as they go a long way. But he suggested be grateful, be careful of the shake in the grass. That is MJF. He says he and Sammy are day one guys in AEW, remembering the moment of the first ever Double or Nothing. Before looking ahead in this Sunday, they have a chance to prove something as undefeated Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, entering earning this shot at the AEW Tag Titles. All right. Dustin Rhodes says Dustin Rhodes says war on Steel is the Hurt Syndicate likes to hurt people, so jump on him and hurt him if you can. He says the match this Sunday will not be a walk in the park, as the two of them have a lot of heart and work ethic. If it was letting man, he'll bet on the day one guys, so they see the Hurt Syndicate at Double or Nothing. Alright, alright. As a concept, I like the contract signing segment, but it dragged a little bit for me, especially when they felt they need to have a son of Texas out here to address the Don opponent face to face. It's that I felt that I could been split split into a separate segment. Still looking. This segment right here was good. I ain't gonna lie, this is a good segment. All right. Backstage, Okada addresses Mike Bailey by saying Speedball doesn't call him out. He calls Bailey out. He challenges Speedball to a match at Double or Nothing for the Continental Championship, saying that he will leave still holding the title. Trust me. All right, so we go to commercial break. Back at ringside, Anthony Bounce makes his way to the ring for our next match, accompanied by Billy Gunn. Ricochet makes his entry next. As commentary talks about the stretcher match he's set to have against Mark Briscoe at Double or Nothing. Ricochet enters the ring as the match is on the way. I don't care about the stretch match between Mark Briscoe and Ricochet. I don't think I may not like that match. All right, let me continue. So we get the next match. So we get Anthony Bowens versus Ricochet. And this match right here, it was a solid match. Ricochet tried to mock Billy Gunn, but is caught off by Anthony Bones, who sends him to the corner for some chops. Ricochet starts to fight back, but Anthony Bones takes him down before sending Ricochet to the outside. Ricochet gets back to his feet and mounts off with Billy Gunn, who makes him finish before Anthony Bones bumps him on the head and sends him to the barricade. Billy Gunn brings Ricochet back into the ring, leading to some words with the referee as Ricochet fights back to bring Anthony Bounce crashing the apron, sending the 5-2 player to the floor as we go to commercial break. So we go to commercial break. All right, we're back from commercial break. Ricochet continues to beat down on Anthony Bounce inside the ring before Anthony Bounce catches him with a kick and a leg lyric. He brings Ricochet to his shoulders, driving him down hard for a 2 count. Ricochet is back to his feet as the two-man trade strikes until Anthony Bounce drops him down with a super kick for a near fall. He brings Ricochet back up, and this allows Ricochet to hit a knee strike and a kick to take control. Um, he goes for the spirit gun, but Anthony Barnes drops him with the arrival instead. He then connects with he connects with the Molly Wop, sending Ricochet out of the ring In the process, Billy Gunn starts to head around the ring to bring Ricochet back. It, bring Ricochet back in. I'm sorry, and it, and then the ref argued with him while Ricochet sneaks a pair of scissors to the head of Anthony Bowens. This this in the this in the spirit gun that follows gives Ricochet the win here tonight. So the winner of the match, the winner by pinfall, Ricochet. This was a I'm also say this was a solid match, right? A solid match. Ricochet celebrates on the ramp to stop when Mark Briscoe comes out with a stretcher, nearly running Ricochet over before sending him back to ringside. Ricochet managed to escape further punishment as Mark Briscoe music hits and commentary runs down the card for double or nothing. I do not want to see a stretches match between Ricochet and Mark Briscoe. I'm not gonna like that match, but it is what it is. Hate to say it, but Ricochet versus Anthony Bounce was so match for me. Anthony Bounce looked good, but I'm struggling to really buy with the 5-2 player gimmick. I respect him for trying though. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Alright, so we move on. We also get a world. No, I'm sorry. We also get a word that Mercedes Moné Open challenge for the TBS Championship has been answered, as Rain Reina is Reina is challenged tomorrow night on Collision. But up next, Mercedes Moné go face to face with Jamie Hayter, head of their own Heart Foundation tournament for Double or Nothing. Like I said, I love Mercedes Moné, but it's Jamie Hayter's time. So that's all I gotta say. It's Jamie Hayter's time to take the TBS championship off of Mercedes Moné. So that's all I gotta say. I hope that do happens. So we go to commercial break. Backstage, Big Stoke addressed FTR in their upcoming match at Double or Nothing. FTR wants to look Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia in their eyes before signing the contract to see the look in Nigel McGuinness' eyes, and when he signs the final contract in his pro wrestling career, so they'll see the pair at Collision. Top guys out. Back at ringside, Renee Paquette says it's time to hear from the ladies ahead of their Women's Own Heart Foundation tournament final this Sunday at Double or Nothing. She introduced Jamie Hayter and Mercedes Moné to the ring before referring to former Women's World Champion Jamie Hayter as an underdog. Jamie Hayter promised she will fight back over and over again because that who she is. She doesn't walk around pretending to be the best thing since sliced bread, but she is a fighter. This mean this means more to Jamie Hayter than Mercedes Moné, and both of them know that. This is about Mercedes Moné. This is about more than a title shot for her. It's about not being forgotten. Renee Paquette addresses the the intensity being brought out of Mercedes Moné by her opponent, asking if Mercedes Moné is worried about Jamie Hayter being the first woman to defeat her in AEW. Mercedes Moné asks if Renee Paquette knows who the you know what she's talking to, saying she's more than a champion. She's a revolution. She's not looking past Jamie Hayter. She's looking straight through her like a glass doll Jamie is. And she promised to show Jamie Hayter why she's the CEO, saying saying this is about more than winning. It's about leaving a legacy. And leaving a legacy. She wants Jamie Hayter to be the fighter she says she is, because this won't be about the story beginning, but her chapter finally come to an end. Jamie Hayter asks if something looks different about Mercedes Moné before mentioning that Mercedes Moné lost to NJPW Strong Women's Champion. Um, she says maybe that was her destiny. and maybe her destiny is to lose everything. This eats Mercedes. This sets Mercedes Monet off as she attacks Jamie Hader with the manage with they manage to fight back with a high, what's that word high, not high, I'm sorry, it's a hate treatment, what's that, hate treatment or something like that. I'm sorry. H- Hater trade on the CEO. Tony Storm music hits as the regaining women's world champion makes her way to the commentary station for main event coming up next. All right, it says hatred. Okay, never mind. That's what I was trying to say, but it is what it is. This face to face sure was a good opportunity for Mercedes Monet to cut roughly the same promo as she had once starting in AEW. I'm joking. Honestly, a good segment through not quite the same level of intensity as the segment that opened the show. Still, still, it was nice to get. Yeah, this was a good segment. This was a good segment between Mercedes Monet and Jamie Hayter. But I love Mercedes Monet. Don't get me wrong. But it's Jamie Hayter's time to take the TBS championship off of Mercedes Monet. And that's all I gotta say. So we go to commercial break. There's been enough talk. No seriously expect this week. Haha! It's time for our main event. Back at ringside, Mina Shakara makes her way out as we look back at last week's title eliminator where Mina earned a shot at the Women's World Championship at Double or Nothing. Out next is Julia Hart, who gets a nice reaction from the crowd as she heads to the ring to get this main event underway. So we get the main event. So we get the main event of the evening. So we get Mina Sakura versus Julia Hart. This match was fantastic, in my opinion. This match was fantastic. The two women lock up before before Mina sends Julia Hart to the ropes, only for Julia Hart to fight back for a hip toss. She wrenches Mina's arm, keeping her grounded before heading to the corner to walk the ropes into a clothesline to the shoulder. Mina fights back off a sliding lariat before sending Julia to the mat before cutting her off in the corner. She takes Julia down before leaving the ring to mock Tony Storm ahead of their match at Double or Nothing. And this gives Julia Hart an opening to strike back, sending Mina to the apron and back in the ring as we go to full commercial break. So we're back from commercial break. Mina and Julia are back in the ring as Mina takes control, sending Julia Hart to the mat. Rolling elbow keeps Julia down as she sends her to the corner, but Julia blocks her. Mina takes her down regardless as Julia Hart heads to the corner and catches Mina with a with the what's that word, with a trauma Tramala, whatever that word is. I'm trying to pronounce it. It's a tarantula, I'm sorry, on the ropes before the ref intervenes. Minas connects with a sparring with a not sparring with a spinning back fist before driving Julia Hart to the mat for a 2 count. Alright, um Julia Hart on backs her on her feet, and she blocks the glamorous driver, dragging Mina to the corner for a moonsault, but Mina rolls away. Julia may have tweaked her knee on the landing as Mina drops her to the mat. Julia Hart counters a submission hold for a near fall. Mina back up and connects with a spinning back fist before going for a glamorous driver. But Julia Hart counters for a 2 count. Mina breaks free and clutches her her right for the pin and the win. The winner of the match by pinfall, Mina Sakura. This was a good main event match right here. All right. It says, um, Julia is back on her feet to interrupt the celebration, with Sky Blue joining her beat down Mina before Tony Storm gets in the ring for the save. She sends Sky Blue out of the ring before laying out Julia Hart with a punch, and Mina does the same to keep her down. This leads to a stare down between Mina and Tony Storm, with Mina holding the championship before they try to get the upper hand on each other. The champ is caught with a right. I'm sorry. The champ is caught in the corner as Mina locks in a figure four around the ring post, and the referee and Luther try to intervene. Mina finally breaks the hold, retreating up the ramp as her music plays. Luther checks on the champion as we get a rundown of Collision, and then we head backstage. Excuse me. Good match between Mina Shakwa and Julia Hart. Not much more to say on that, but it did like the bit of stuff post match with Mina and Tony Storm headed to their match at Double or Nothing. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. All right, I'm sorry. Where the Young Bucks are their way, the Young Bucks are on their way out to on the way out the door. They make the mistake of mocking the odds, promising to come after them tonight, and this proves constantly constantly as Hobbs and Samoa Joe get the jump on them. This leads to a brawl backstage involving the Death Riders before Willow before Willow Willow's before Willow Strickland and Shibata get involved as well. This chaos makes it very back into ringside, and they fight it out with Swerve Strickland bringing Nicholas into the ring. The theme for Dynamite plays as the brawl continues in and out of the ring, and it's archery in this arena before archery in the arena takes place this Sunday at Double or Nothing. Um, the chaos the chaos continues with John Moxley going after Samoa Joe on the outside, but the good guys in this scenario manage to fight back until Gabe um what's his name um Gabe, Gabe Kidd shows up to blindside Samoa Joe, goes after Kenny Omega in the ring as the Young Bucks grab a table from outside before throwing a trash can throwing the trash can and at their former friend Kenny Omega. And this set up Kenny Omega and Swerve Strickland in two table outside getting the drop on them, and it sent them through the tables before their music their music hits. All right, this I'm sorry. It says the combined forces of the Death Riders and Young Bucks seem to have the advantage going into the wild match for Double or Nothing as Dynamite finally comes to a close. The closing segment was fine. Like I get it. Like I get it. They wanna really push the archery and the arena stuff for Sunday. But adding this to a show that already kind of dragging spots were not quite what I was hoping for LOL. I do like a bit of chaos from time to time, so it was good for. And it says right here. So this was a decent enough AEW Dynamite overall, but I'm being honest. The focus on the segment driving home the Dawn feud and storylines was just a little much compared to the in ring action. Not bad matches per se per it's just per se, but not the best stuff ever. And AEW Dynamite goes off the air. Alright, let me give my honest opinion what I think about AEW Dynamite. Now AEW Dynamite was a decent show for what it was. If you guys enjoy my AEW Dynamite review on highlights, make sure you guys please full watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content that I do on a channel like this because I am a grinder on YouTube. When it comes to me doing wrestling reviews, I give you guys the full review. I do not give you guys the half of my review. Follow my social media down below in the description, and I'll make a 3-minute YouTube show video. Make sure you guys my thumbnail twice in the video because the proof is in the pudding. And I will go live tomorrow on Twitch for some WWE 2K25s. So that's all I gotta say. Make sure you guys give me a follow. I'm gonna put the link to my Twitch down below in the description so you guys can follow me so I'll become affiliate when I get 50 followers as well too. So and yeah, I will be going live on Twitch for some WWE 2K25. Make sure you guys be there. I'm trying to have at least like a lot of people there. Well, yeah, a lot of people there. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say. This your boy B Boy Snacks Shine TV, aka what kind of snacks you want because I got plenty to go around. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. And KFG crew, KFG Kings, KFG Club, too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. Go check out my WWE NXT review and highlights. And also go check out my WWE Raw review and highlights that I did on the channel as well too. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. And I will see you guys tomorrow live on Twitch for some WWE 2K25. And that's all I gotta say. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept you crew, kept you kings, kept you club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang.